thinking about it.
Now we're live.
Now we are live.
But yeah, I've been keeping up with it, so I'm excited. Because I wouldn't mind another discussion when we get on that about that series. And expectations. Bloodaxe, are you a big Fallout fan, Bloodaxe?
About what?
Are you a big Fallout fan?
Fallout? I played some of the games, but it's not my Gears of War. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, you're pretty specific about your game base. You got a very tight game base you mess with. They haven't really touched on any of your series when it comes to making live action stuff. I don't think they got a Gears show coming up, do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Amazon's doing it.
Man, that is a random bag there. Then you don't know what the heck you're gonna get when Amazon's doing it.
Yeah, we're talking about Dave Bautista was throwing his name in the ring to try to play Marcus. We talked about it last year.
Yeah, but I wasn't taking it serious. I don't think they'd really do it. Like, also, dude, they've made some stuff since then that has made me go, I have no idea what the heck Amazon might make. Because has Amazon done anything good? I know they messed some stuff up, but didn't they do a decent show too? I think they did something right, but they've also had some really.
That's Netflix that's doing Gears of War. It's a movie.
Oh, is it? Okay, my bad.
Okay, that makes it even more. But that does mean that it might be good because Netflix has
also a bag.
Yeah, but Amazon had that really bad Rings of Power, and that's what scared me. I'm like, wow, did they mess up Rings of Power?
And Wheel of Time, and
yeah, and I don't know if I've ever seen Amazon do any of these interpretations correct. Whereas Netflix occasionally will surprise you with something good. And when they do it bad, I don't know if they've ever done it as bad as Amazon.
But Amazon has done shows that people have enjoyed. I mean,
that's what I was trying to remember. Like,
I think Reacher is them, which I mean, yeah.
Okay, we'll see. Also, didn't they do a Game of Thrones? Or was that HBO again?
No, HBO did Game of Thrones.
Not the original.
Amazon did Terminal List. That was good. I've enjoyed The Boys, but I never followed the comics, so I can't tell you how close it is. Or
The Boys got pretty good. Invincible, I think, got pretty good reviews.
That was Amazon?
I think Invincible was Amazon, yeah.
You sure about
that? Or was that Netflix?
I don't think that was. That's a good question. That is a very good question because, like, I do not remember where I watched that.
Oh, yeah, there's a computer in front of me. I can type in.
Yeah, you could definitely do that much easier than me.
The only reason I didn't do it is you grabbed your phone so quickly. I figured you had it, but it took too long. Amazon Prime, yeah.
Okay, so there's a chance. Well, like I said, the swing on Amazon's bigger. Too, because it's like to really bad and then to really good.
With their Lord of the Rings and their Wheel of Time.
God, those are so... Because, I mean, it's just such an amazingly bad interpretation that you're like, you didn't know something could suck that much.
Honestly, fantasy. They don't do good with fantasy. But they have done good, like, military type stuff, so...
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it's Netflix... And I don't know.
Now, Netflix, I'm not so sure about.
Netflix is all over the place, man. Now, they don't swing quite as bad as Amazon, but they don't swing quite as good as some of those.
Let's be honest, the narrative of the game has sort of been swinging the Netflix way anyway.
Well, they're not doing that, Art. I hope not. But who knows? It might be the silver timeline. It may not matter. So.
There you go. All right, let's get started. Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q. And
on Skype,
we have Bloodaxe.
All right, let's get started. Let's see. First up, man, this show starts in a couple of days, right?
Why do we always end up covering something like this? Just people losing jobs, man.
Man, I mean, it makes you worry about the show that's about to come out when the creator has been laid off or fired just days before the actual release of the show.
I don't think they fired him soon enough. Oh, sorry. Was that not where we were going with that?
I mean, yeah, we already watched the trailer. We already had our concerns, and this doesn't. I don't know, man. Maybe this bodes well for it. Honestly, with the rate Disney, maybe the guy was like, "You didn't do enough."
The issue is that they fired the creator. That's great, but the show's already made. So they may be going, well, at least it won't continue. Yeah, it probably won't continue. You won't get to fix it, very likely. And that's where it's like firing a guy who built your house wrong. Well, yeah, but the house is still shot. You needed to build him when he started screwing up the foundation, and then you built the house correctly. I don't see the point at this point.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to redo the show.
Well, I mean...
And they're not, to my knowledge, redoing the show. They haven't said that they're going to delay and redo the show, so I'm like, all right, they're probably not going to do it.
Don't know, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to check it out when it comes out. I mean,
there is a rumor that there's a different reason he got fired.
Yeah, I heard.
It has nothing to do with the show.
Yeah.
It may be, a scandal. We'll leave it at that. I don't know if that's true, but if that's the case, then hey, I understand. Getting out ahead of that stuff's a good idea.
Well, I mean, once again, I mean, when it comes to the whole firing due to scandals, I hope there's enough evidence where,
true,
you're like, oh, right, well, yeah, we got to fire him,
I know. Normally we say that, and the only reason I say that's why people are worried, though, because they're going like, man, we know how long they waited with Jonathan Majors. They're like, what the heck is this scandal? They're like, holy crap, abandoned ship. Is it something really bad? I get
why they waited for Jonathan Majors, though, because, I mean, Jonathan Majors there was a lot of unknowns there. And that's why I actually respect him for waiting as,
Oh, no, I mean, yeah. You should wait to find out if someone is guilty. It's definitely the proper way to do things.
I mean, Always. We've seen before where they're quick on the trigger and then it comes out the person's innocent and it's already too late. I mean, look at Johnny Depp. I mean...
And even some other situations where a person never even went to friggin' trial and they decided they were guilty. So, yeah. But that's why a lot of people are theorizing that something happened to where they looked at it and said, nope, he's guilty, getting out of it. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's a rumor, but I haven't heard anything in slightly verified.
I saw it pop up a couple days ago, but I was like, it was a rumor, so I wasn't going to
It's a hypothesis at best. But it does make more sense because the show's coming out. Why would you fire the showrunner after the show is made? That'd be pointless.
Well, and not delay the show. Normally, if you fire the show fire the showrunner because of the show, you would immediately delay the show so you could do some reworks and try to salvage what you have. But it didn't seem to be any delay in the show. So
no, still think the show's going to fail, but for really different reasons.
But so that does allude to there being something else. What
Too bad Disney can't win for losing. That's what that means. Which is.
But I mean, it's also not the only thing that Disney's been cutting.
Make sure Bloodaxe doesn't have an opinion on this. Bloodaxe, since this is Disney related, what do you think about them firing the show creator right before the X-Men '97 comes out?
Well, I mean, I think the optics definitely look bad, but I will say they've done a real good job of keeping the details under wraps because I guess they don't want to spoil the launch of the series.
Yeah, that does actually make sense. I mean, if it was something bad about him, you don't want people to protest the show because of his actions.
Right. Because you've seen all the blowback with Jonathan Majors, that kind of stuff. But I didn't have high hopes to begin with for the series just because of my recent disdain over what they've done to my childhood memories over the past several years with Disney. So I'll be pleasantly surprised if it's worth watching, but I'm going to let you tell me if I need to take the time to actually watch it or not. Because as of right now, I mean, it don't matter to me what he did. I don't think it's going to salvage the content one way or the other.
I mean, I'll definitely check out the first episode just to see the direction they're going with it. I like X-Men. I love the cartoon series, and so I feel like out of dear dedication, I will check it out.
I don't know, man. I grew up with this. It was a big deal. Like I told you, it was big in my community back then, especially. You know, a lot of us young Black comic book fans really affiliated with the mutants situation. So seeing that get crapped on, man, is like watching, you know, something that you really associated with and empathized and felt a part of just get like flipped on its head. So I'll try, but I'm getting sick and tired of just being disappointed.
Well, no, I get you, man. I mean, the X-Men was probably the most diverse of any of the comics. It had original characters. The diversity did not feel forced by any means. You know, it was it matched, honestly, the diversity matched the current population and world frame, you know. Because there were so many X-Men, it allowed for that to reach into almost every pocket, you know, as well as just, I mean, as being comic book people and geeks, you are a bit of an outcast anyway, and it's sort of related with that, you know. So I get where it's very close to a lot of people, and you know, Q takes a lot of bullets for the show and watches a lot of crap. So I'll take this one.
Let me know if they decide to crap all over it, man, because like. It's like you say, man. And it's not even like I'm past the point of anger with this stuff. It's now just sad. Because, you know.
Honestly, I think that's why I can watch this, as at this point I'm past the point of anger. So it's just like, I'll watch it.
Yeah, Q's definitely a lot more of a trooper than I am, because I'm so passionate that when I check out, and I can't be unbiased. At least he can be unbiased to a certain extent. So I will give him props for that.
I mean, I try to give it a chance. It's just, I don't know why they do it. I just sometimes can't understand it. There are plenty of things that I've seen I didn't like and I wasn't a fan of, and I just don't engage. Oh, just don't engage. I just go, okay, you know what? That's your thing. Oh, this is your thing over there. Have fun. I don't understand this weird obsession with inserting yourself into something you don't like. It's like you don't like swimming, but you insist on jumping in the pool and peeing in it constantly. And everybody's just like, dude, if you don't want to swim, just don't get in the pool. But no, you're like, but I don't want anyone to swim. Why do you care? Because I'm just a terrible human being. And that's what I feel like every time I see this. I'm not saying it's true, it's just my feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't like the X-Men comics? Okay, go read another comic. Go watch Steven Universe. Heck, I watched Steven Universe. I enjoyed Steven Universe up until the final season. I thought it was a good show. I liked it. Last season, got a little hard to follow, got a little strange, but it was a really good show. And when it got strange, you know what I did? Stop watching it. I didn't thumbs down it. This is the first time I said anything. Because I just said, now they've lost a connection to me. You know why? Because it got into topics that I could no longer understand. Because that's what happens when you get further away from certain things I can associate with. But that doesn't make it a bad show. Notice what I didn't do. I didn't pee in your pool. Why can't you just enjoy what you enjoy?
Well, speaking of peeing in pools, there's been other cancellations, supposedly. Now, these are still rumors. Apparently, there was comments made by Bob Iger that has spurred a lot of rumors coming out of Disney, saying that the MCU movies rumored to have been canceled are all sequels, including Ant-Man 4, Captain Marvel 3, The Eternals, and The Eternals 2. Now, Eternals 2, in particular, Kevin Feige wanted to move forward with, apparently, and they're saying it's just transformed into another project.
Is Kevin Feige an idiot? Eternals 2 is one of the movies that really did bad. Like, not at least Captain Marvel 1.
Well, and once again, all this is rumor mill. I mean, like I said, because apparently there have been more cuts at Disney. So,
well, wow, the idea that they were actually considering an Eternals 2 after Eternals 1. I think Eternals 1 was like amongst like one of the worst of all the Marvel foreign movies. Who makes a sequel to a movie that's like on your top losers list? That's wild.
Well, I mean, first thought would be is that it would be some tie-in to whatever you're doing with Secret Wars or whatever else you're going along that storyline, to where then they would make it a Captain Marvel one, to where it's a must-see movie to be able to figure out what's going on, but with the next movie in the series. That's the only reason why you would even have it on the roadmap. But other than that, you're right. No one saw it. No one liked it. No one talks about it. So there makes no financial sense to do it unless you make it a must-see movie to keep following the story. But people have checked out of everything so far that we just don't care anymore. It's not interesting.
Yeah, because I don't think it was an underperformer. I think it was like it didn't even make its money.
I say we do some timey-wimey shit and we just go back to the blip and reboot again.
Timey-wimey.
Oh, man.
Oh, Doctor Who reference for y'all.
Yeah. Oh, well, speaking of things getting canceled, apparently something may have gotten uncanceled. Blood, I'm going to let you talk about this one, but yeah, apparently a new Star Wars project.
Before we move over, it is considered one of their biggest flops and one of the lowest rated movies. And is the fourth lowest worldwide gross of all the Marvel movies. So just to back that up. So I'm like, how do you fourth from the bottom? Yeah, how are you fourth from the bottom of their gross of all their Marvel movies and you go, well, we're going to make a sequel. Let's start from the bottom and make our sequels from the bottom up. Who does that? Who goes down to the worst movies and goes, that needs a sequel?
We all know. Well, like I said, we just need to undo some shit. All right. Bloodaxe.
So I saw this a couple of different sources over this past week, where apparently Patty Jenkins was putting out there that she still owes Lucasfilm a movie, and so now she's gearing back up for Rogue Squadron, which we had that teaser trailer. Was it 2021? I think it was, or 2022, where we had that just the logo at one of the Star Wars celebrations. Well, now that the Wonder Woman 3 is no longer being made because of the way the DC's resetting everything with James Gunn.
Yeah, that's
she's
why.
Like, oh, time to get back working on Star Wars. So this film, it's kind of 50-50 with me, because we saw what she did with the first Wonder Woman, and that was, a really, really good film. Then when she was given the ability to write the script for 1984, that one didn't go over nearly as well with the audiences as the first film, which goes into question her writing chops. Supposedly, she's penning the script for Rogue Squadron. However, she does call it as a passion project because her father was a fighter pilot. I think it was World War II. I can't remember if that was Vietnam War. It was one of the wars. He was a fighter pilot. So this seems to be more of a passion project because it's near and dear to her family. So it's something that I will continue to follow, but it's not felt nearly enough to be able to say any kind of opinions on where I think it's going to go. But I would love to find a way to bring in some of the lesser known pilots or completely new squadron of pilots, and kind of get away from the fantasy part of it and get more into the science fiction part of it. But let's have dogfights in space like we had at the end of A New Hope. I think that would be a really cool type of way to get back to the Rogue One type style of films, where it's a war movie but in space. That would pique my interest and be able to kind of reset the palette, so to speak, from some of the stuff that we saw with the sequel trilogy, which most people will agree that it went off the rails for one fandom or another, and no one can come to a consensus that if it's a good film. But most people would agree Rogue One was well done. So I think if we can kind of go along in that same vein, that would be something that might be able to get a little bit more of the fandom back and maybe start turning Star Wars in the right direction, but she's still working on the script. So we're probably a year or two away before even filming begins. So that's just one of the things I've been following this week. And so I'm going to turn the anime stuff back over to you guys.
You got something I was going to comment on the Rogue Squadron.
No, go ahead.
Well, and I don't want to pee on your parade because I hope it's good, but my problem is just that, like, so was Wonder Woman 1984, though. I mean, like you said, the first movie, she worked with another producer, and she wasn't really given the reins. 1984, I think it was Wonder Woman 1984, was also a passive product, was in them project, and them going, you go, come on, show them you can do this. You know how important that was? That they're like, this is you. You know what? First movie went well. Show them you got the chops. It was pushed as, we're about to show you what she can do. How could that not have been a big deal? And you saw what happened. I mean, some of the ideas were just right off the bat. If you'd have walked up to me and said, all right, so the villain is basically this. I'm not even going to say it. You know what it was. And I'm just like, that would have meant I would have said, okay, get the other guy back in here. No, give me that. Give me the damn script. Just take the script. I would have said, all right, we thought you were going to take this seriously. And then, like, whenever we talk about the one scene, it was like, okay, and then they do this. That's almost illegal. What do you do? Like,
no joke, right?
Yeah, you're just like, who, so that's why I look at Rogue. I'm going like, yes, it's a passion project and this and that, but I know that you don't make good decisions. I know that you go, ooh, I'm going to do this when I probably should be trying to tell a good story. So I'm worried she's going to do that again. Because here's a bad thing, and that is that what I've found, and this is not gender-based or anything, I just found in general that lately creators have a bad tendency, especially a lot of these new generation creators or just younger folks than myself, of refusing to stop making the same mistake. I don't know what it's about, but they will make a mistake, they will screw something up, and they just keep doing it. And I have no reason to believe that she's not going to do it again because no one has done that. No one has made these dumb mistakes in their movie or show, and then the next season, they've not done it. Give me an example if I'm wrong. I would love to hear it. I've never seen that. I've never seen them everybody go, that was terrible, and the next season they go, oh. In fact, quite the opposite. Usually they go, so what did you hate about Spider-Man 1? What bothers you the most? All right, that. Do more. Way more of that. Up and up. Like, it's like they're so immature that their reaction is, I'm going to double the dosage. So I'm worried she's going to go double time over the top in Rogue Squadron just to get revenge for the complaints about Wonder Woman. Because they just canceled her next movie, dude. She's mad. Wonder Woman 3 got canceled. You know dang well they got new James Gunn. They got canceled because she messed up 1984. Because they put out several movies right before the reset on purpose. They made sure to get them out. They made sure to get out Blue Beetle. They made sure to get out, what was the other one they did right before Flashpoint? They did several movies right before that, but they made sure Wonder Woman 3 they didn't. That was on purpose. They didn't want to let Patty Jenkins do another movie because she screwed up. That it was on purpose, and she knows it. I know it. You know it. Gal Gadot know it. Everybody knows it. So she's coming to this movie, and even the way she's talking about it, yeah, I owed him a script. Does that sound like somebody that's taking it seriously? Oh, yeah, they canceled that, so I owe him some kind of script. That don't sound like somebody taking it seriously. She's going to throw something together. It's going to waste Disney's money. Bob going to cry. They're going to jump on him. They're going to lie about it during the Disney meeting.
You did got to mention one thing, and that is this is all coming from her. As far as Lucasfilm has not made any official statement about this.
So she, yeah, she did. You know what? Yeah, because you're saying they're going to make a movie. No, she said she owes him a script. Then they'd be like, yeah, thank you. Bye.
You know how many scripts, are in their vaults, there are so many scripts that get written that are never turned into movies.
Hey, come on, Clinton. You're the smartest business guy I know. If it says what I think it says, it's like, you owe us a script. Okay, we're going to make a Rogue Squadron movie. Thank you for the script. All right, go make the movie.
Well, we don't even know if they're going to make a Rogue Squadron movie. I mean, obviously...
They can make a Rogue Squadron movie, just may not be with her script.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, what we know is that she owes them a script.
Yes. And they're going to get that script. And like you said, they're going, you know...
Or that she says that she owes them a script.
She says she owes her a script.
They may go out and go, nah, we don't need it.
And somewhere in one of the Disney hotels at Disneyland, somebody could be like, this is an odd texture toilet paper.
Oh...
No, that script may end up collecting dust along with George Lucas's treatments that he wrote for whenever they acquired Lucasfilm back in 2012. So it just may be on the pile of other stuff that's in a vault of good ideas that actually may never see the light of day.
All right. Well, speaking of new ideas,
bye, Bloodaxe.
Yeah.
No, it's only one topic. We got one. We only have one anime topic. We're going to get out of the way and we're going to get back into video games. All right? You with me, man?
Yeah. All right. We actually already mentioned this one a while back, but a new trailer has been released with a release date, and that is the Suicide Squad Isekai. Came out with a new trailer and a July 2024 debut. Dude, you know, as bad as the Suicide Squad game was, and, you know, the movies have been,
This looks awesome.
This actually looks really cool. Like, I think that this could possibly really pique my interest.
Dude, we watched the Gotham DC, when we watched the DC movies, these little side stories, they've all been amazing. Like the one with Batman as a samurai, like, they've been good. They've been really good. And they caught the anime style. And what I think is funny that ought to piss off so many groups that try to do certain things is that a lot of the stuff they do is just a trope in anime that's just perfectly fine, because Harley Quinn is like a super badass, but that's anime as heck. Like, in anime, that is very common. There's nothing strange about Harley Quinn beating up like an ogre, because it's anime. Also, Michael Jackson. That's Clayface, by the way. That's Clayface, but he likes to look like Michael Jackson. That's his thing. Which is also, for some reason, awesome, because the idea of, like, Michael Jackson running around in a fantasy setting is just also hilarious. But it looks fun. It looks like it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you can survive Gotham, you can survive an Isekai.
Well, it fits their power level. Like, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is just dumb. Nobody can believe it. But Suicide Squad characters would be absolutely dangerous against goblins and orcs, so it fits it. In fact, this would have been a better game. If they had put out a Suicide Squad game where I'm running around a fantasy setting, come on, Bloodaxe, even you would have been like, wait a minute. I get to run around in a fantasy setting with, like, Deadshot and a machine gun. I mean, dude, that sounds fun.
That's why we all had high hopes for Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
That's what we were literally hoping for. That's what we wanted to do. Heck, that's why I'm still playing Remnant 2. I shotgunned a frigging tree monster in the face. That's fun. You know? So it's funny to run around. It actually, this literally looks like a more interesting video game concept than they did. You know? And plus, how much live service can you get out of a fantasy setting? You could just constantly roll new concepts out. And Peacemaker, you know, they threw Peacemaker in there because the TV show did well. It's very obvious why they did that. They based it on the characters that were popular, and it looks fun. So it just amuses me that you see this and you go, this is already better than the game in concept. They picked characters that are interesting. I like Clayface. I like Peacemaker. I like Harley Quinn. I like Deadshot. I like King Shark. Good lineup. You know, don't miss Captain Boomerang at all. And
from a non-anime person, it does look interesting. And I did step outside my comfort zone a couple years ago and watch The Killing Joke, and just wasn't super impressed with that one. But then again, that wasn't the Batman that I was expecting or familiar with. So
what about the Batman Samurai, man? I think it was just a bunch of shorts, but it was pretty cool.
And I'll be the
that was
first to say,
Batman Ninja.
Our Batman Ninja was the shorts.
Culture, but Batman Samurai does sound pretty sweet. I would give that a
Oh,
chance
yeah,
if
no.
that's something you want to watch one Friday. I'll be happy to sit down and watch it with you, but it's not something I'm going to go out and watch on my own. It'd be something I would watch with guys.
But yeah, like we do like fantasy, so this would probably be a rare anime you would find amusing just to watch somebody running around a fantasy setting with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a fun idea. It's like Harley Quinn beating up orcs with a baseball bat. That sounds fun.
And honestly, it's probably a world where King Shark can actually live a much better life.
You don't see him eating werewolves and goblins casually and nobody cares. They're just like, yeah, dude, that's your pet monster. Yeah, that's your monster, right? But yeah, that's my familiar.
Or he's a shark beastkin,
I mean, we're literally looking at Beastkin, yeah. So, I mean, it's a fun concept. I mean, I literally wish this was a video game. This looks like a much more fun video game than what we got. I would be interested in playing this. And guess what? And this one, it makes sense for you to have Joker as DLC later. He comes looking for Harley Quinn. It writes itself, people.
It does. It really
Literally,
does.
you did have Joker come in later as a rescue mission. God, people suck at making games.
But dude, and like Flynn says, Ezekiah, I feel sorry for the person that gets taken to Gotham. Dude, yes, that would be. Think
I don't know. Depends
people
on who it is.
People from the fantasy world can come, and you got even more content.
Imagine a dude walking around who's a proper paladin, though, and somebody's talking and trying to lie to him, and he's just like, "You are lying and an evil person." Smite. They'd be like, "Holy crap! He just cut freaking Bane in half." Everybody's like, "What the hell?"
But dude, the only place that'd really be able to exist would be Gotham. I mean, you take fantasy characters in the Gotham, people are just like, yeah, another day,
No. Is that Azrael? Hey, there's a guy. That's a paladin. Is that Azrael? Because you think about fantasy paladins, we think of them as righteous and kind. You forget that they kill evil on sight. So in Gotham, that's Azrael. That's a lethal protector.
Dude, we play tabletop. Paladins are an extreme. We know,
The peacekeeper almost.
Yeah.
So it'd be funny. They were, that would act. Wow, I want that game now. I hate Insomniac. That'd have been much more fun. I know Bloodaxe would definitely be about that dead shot. I can see him wanting to have a gun or peacekeeper. Give me that King Shark, man, or Clayface. Clayface. If he could do the whole arms thing. I want this game. Insomniac, you suck. It's a better video game by concept. I actually want to play this now as a game. Sad. Yeah. But no, he's right, man. Like, dude, that could be a DLC. Then you get a fantasy squad and run through Gotham. That could be a separate DLC one-shot of us. Now we have fantasy characters running through Gotham. That, oh my God, facing off against the Rogues Gallery. Dude, that's live service. That's what live service should be. Look how many chapters you can get out of that. That's just You could easily do that for a year or two, just running these different concepts. Now you're going to take on this villain.
Yeah. I know, dude. I think it would be exciting.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to look like it's going to be a fun movie. It also would have been a better live service.
Oh, Paladins in World of Warcraft. Michael mentioned it. I had a Pally. I love my Pally, man. Not as much of a code when you're playing the World of Warcraft. But fun.
Some poor person from Batman's Rogue Gallery confuses a vampire for Batman. That's not going to go well.
Oh.
Batman, I'm going to kill you. You have a problem with bots? Yes. Shoot. Bites their head off, walks off. Because remember, this isn't a vampire. This is an anime vampire.
No.
And anime vampires are monsters. They bite heads off. They don't drink blood. They can... Hellsing? Oh, no. They're monsters. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Anime vampires tend to be like S tier,
Yeah. This conversation's already more fun than a Suicide Squad game. Even Bloodaxe is having fun, and it's anime based. We're having more fun in Suicide game talking about what we wish was a Suicide Squad game. Wow.
Well, dude, I've always enjoyed the genre mashup Fantasy meets sci-fi. All of that's always that's my cup of tea. I know it's more my cup of tea than it is your cup of tea. But
I love genre master. What are you talking about? I love it. I just usually love it the reverse. I think you like tech in fantasy. I love
both. I love both. I guess you lean one way where I'm sort of, I just love the mashup, dude. I love it in music. I love rap rock and just taking genres and being able when they are blended smoothly and correctly. Now that's the key.
That's our comic book specialist. He said it would only enforce the mystery behind Batman. Yeah, it is true that most criminals think Batman is lethal. They don't know it. So they would just believe he is a monster.
Well, because you got to remember the original, when they talked about Batman, people were just disappearing off the streets. Now they were ending up in prison, but they didn't know that because it's the high security.
People are terrified of him and don't think he's human.
And Batman would put people in prison without any kind of jurisdiction. They would just show up in a cell.
Well, also a lot of them went in Arkham, and we know Arkham doesn't keep records.
Yeah.
What happened to the Joker, man? Ain't nobody seen him for 6 months. Like, I don't know what it is.
People were just criminals were disappearing off the streets. Nobody knew what was happening to them. And they were just like, Batman's killing people. They didn't get rid of the bodies, apparently.
That's how they knew that Azrael wasn't Batman. They were finding bodies. They're like, well, that can't be Batman. He's too good to be leave a body. People just disappear. No, that would be fun. Oh my goodness, I would have a lot of fun with that. I could give me that concept, and I'd get at least a year out of it easy.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, Batman versus Dracula. They thought Batman was drinking victims.
Oh, remember that they actually believed that he was. Yeah, that's how much people don't know. Like people are just like, oh no, it's Batman. It's like, no, it's Dracula. I believe Batman's a vampire more than I believe in Dracula. We're in D.C. There's magic. No, it's Batman. Yeah, Metropolis is within eyesight. Really? You really going to go with that? Like, I think I can see Superman.
That's not in every universe. I think a couple of universes, they basically put Metropolis across the river of Gotham, which was really weird when they did that.
Yeah, that was funny when you can see Metropolis. Well, especially because you're going like... Well,
because it was always darker, too. The sun didn't shine.
Well, it made a big problem.
They would zoom out and you'd see, bright Metropolis and then dark Gotham.
Well, it was really bad, too, because it created that issue of Superman is really an a-hole. Because it's like, most crime-ridden city in the world... across the river
because Batman's
from
got that,
Superman.
Man.
No, he doesn't. It's still the most crime-ridden city in the world.
But you got to remember, when Batman was out and Superman took it was still crime-ridden when Superman left.
Yeah, he's not that good at this. That's when you learned that Metropolis just has some pretty chill people, apparently, because even when Superman was around, they were just like...
Superman's like, holy crap, Batman puts up with this every day?
He's just like, they don't care, Batman. I'm immune to bullets, and they're shooting at me. They don't stop until I literally walk up to him and just because I think one scene, he walks up and just he's just looking at him like, really? Is everyone crazy here? Arkham Asylum, biggest business in town, man. We're all crazy. It's like, hi.
And he's looking at Robin. This is what Batman puts up with.
Really got pissed off and this bait him bad. He's just all right, I'm sick of you talking trash, man. And you rarely see him lose his temper. But Gotham, is one of the times he's just like, I don't want to go to Gotham anymore. Why? I don't think I can stay the boy in blue, man. I ever wonder if he just asked Batman, I had a really bad week. Can I put on the cowl for about an hour? Don't go too. I won't. Okay. He just goes around, mess a few people up, leaves, and they're just like, no, man, I'm telling you. Batman can fly and is immune to bullets and his eyes glow in the dark. I'm telling you. Dude, you're high, man. Those are just stories. Maybe that's where they're coming from. It's Superman occasionally showing up and dressing up as Batman. Just to vent some stress. We got a new theory. Superman vacations in Gotham to vent stress.
We do know he has dressed as Batman. So.
No, but he does it on purpose sometimes.
All right. Flynn says most Gotham villains could be fixed with a bullet. Villains in Metropolis require Superman. A citizen there knows ain't shit they can do. Yeah.
That's some fun stuff.
That's probably why Gotham's so bad. If Metropolis was right across the river and you had Superman there, anybody who is not Superman level would cross the river and go over to Gotham.
That's what it is.
And Batman's having to put up with that shit.
Everybody leaves Metropolis to go to like Arkham, where they just got to deal with one dude who probably won't show up. Well, no, there's so much crime in Gotham.
Yeah.
Batman is like 10% chance you run into him. It's probably the case.
Well, and most of the criminals know. You see Batman, you run. You just leave.
Yeah.
Now, they don't do it successfully usually, but many a times it got to the point where they're like, oh, shit, it's the Bat. Let's go.
If you're smart, you wait and go, hold on. Joker's doing something. Now we can go snatch purses. He ain't got time for us.
Yeah.
No. Put the gun away, man. Just purse snatching. You need to learn how to survive in Gotham. Keep it low tier. You might run into Robin. He's just going to beat you up. He ain't even going to take you to jail. Mm-hmm. He just leaves you unconscious in the alley. Because he does. I remember it. Robin leaves you unconscious in the alley at the time. You're like, purse snatching. Get it down. You got to make sure the Joker's in town, though. By the way, stay away from the Joker. None of his minions survive. Batman? No. The Joker. Like, I love it. You know what we had to do as comedy routine is just like surviving in Gotham. It's just a bunch of advice. People you can work for. You can work for the Penguin. Do not work for Killer Croc. Do not work for the Joker. Reiterate, do not work for the Killer Croc. He gets hungry.
Now that first season of the Arrow when crime went down and then all of a sudden he became a wuss and didn't kill any people anymore. Crime went back up.
I mean, it's wrong to kill, but it's impossible for it not to go down. There's less physical criminals. That's just how math works.
I just love that they actually did that, though. I mean, like, they had the news talk about how crime was dropping, and then like the seasons where he became soft, and they actually started talking about crime rising again, and I was just like, oh,
it wasn't because their criminals were able to do repeat crime. You lose repeat business when you're doing what he was doing. There's a reason that Batman tends to break people's limbs. They used to say Batman's too rough on criminals. I'm like, look, he's not killing them, and at least when he breaks a limb, they're not committing the crime again tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Into some gaming news. We talked about this some last week with the rumor that Embracer was selling Saber Interactive. Well, apparently the filing has happened. It is selling, as well as a lot of Saber's subsidiaries. So you have like 4A Games, Zen Studios, 3D Realms, a lot of things like that are also coming over with Saber. Saber has actually already removed a lot of references to Embracer from their website. So I mean, it's a done deal.
Hope it doesn't affect our Warhammer game, because me and Bloodaxe have been waiting for a while on that.
Yeah,
man.
Space Marines 2 is for Warhammer fans has been a much waited on game.
Well, it's co-op finally. Like, we're going to finally get to go in there and get in there together. You looking forward to it, Bloodaxe?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Embracer made a decent buck off this. I mean, they bought Saber back in 2020 for $150 million, and then turned around and sold it for almost $250 million. So, $100 million gain in like 4 years. That's not bad.
Well, to go back on our reference, my hope is that 40K sells enough copies to fund them going ahead and knocking KOTOR out and putting it out, too.
I think I should just leave KOTOR alone, man. At this point, I just don't have faith. I don't have faith. Like, I really want it. I really do. But at the same time, my level of faith is so low that I want it and don't want it at the same time.
If they're going to do it, I almost say, like, you know what? It don't hit me, but you know why I say this? Because at least you know what? No, this is a good idea, because then it won't besmirch the old game. You're going to do it? Go all in and just make it a full combat system. Just go ahead and do something different. Go ahead and say, we're going to get the story, but we're going to get, what's the one you like, Jedi Survivor or whatever? No action combat, man. Don't do the turn-based. Just spice that sucker all the way up, because you cannot replicate what it was. I agree. I do not think they can replicate that
You
system.
just wanted to go ahead and put it out so you pull the Band-Aid off. We can get out of this whole Schrodinger's cat scenario where, it's there and it's not there at the same time.
I also want a hack and slash lightsaber game that isn't Jedi Survivor. So, and I like this. Well, excuse me. Dang, I spiked there. But because the story of Jedi Survivor did not wow me. I like the setting of KOTOR more. And I would love a hack and slash lightsaber game set in that setting because it gave a nice Star Wars Old West feel, Bloodaxe. Like it was a real good setting. And I'd love to run around in that setting, but actually control my character and control my force powers. I miss like Force Unleashed. You know what I'm saying? I miss that. So I'd rather be actionier. But you can still have your squad with you, but I kind of missed that. So I'd rather be in that setting but be able to control my character. At least then I might get something out of it because they're not going to capture the magic if they try to remake KOTOR. It won't work. Just leave it as is or do something completely different. Trying to replicate it will fail. Zeno's right. It will fail. You can't. It was a very specific time where that type of game worked. But that's going to feel clunky. It's going to completely not work versus what's out there. It's going to not be considered a good experience. Even if we go back and try to do it, it would not be considered a good experience. It's going to bomb. So you either update it and give us a really new spin on it, play style-wise, please do not get weird with the story, or leave it the hell alone. That's really what they would need to do. What do you think, Bloodaxe? You're a huge KOTOR guy. We gotta hear him out.
Well, I mean, I think KOTOR it fell into that no man's land where we really didn't have any Star Wars either. And so we were starving for anything Star Wars related, whether it was canon or not. And the fact that Lucasfilm Games was the one that was developing it, that kind of gave it some level of legitimacy. But now that it's an open license, anybody can do a Star Wars game as long as the Lucasfilm Story Group signs off on it. So the fact that you're not going to be able to recreate that magic already puts you behind the eight ball. EA had some limited success with the Jedi Survivor and the Fallen Order games. And as someone that's played both of those, they were fun, but it's a one playthrough. I played through KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 so many times. I think the only thing I've played more than that is probably Super Metroid. And I may have played KOTOR 2 more than I played Super Metroid as far as complete playthroughs go. But you're not going to recreate the magic. But being able to have a game in that vein where it's an action game, but it's not turn-based, that especially if you can play squad-like but not Battlegrounds or Battlefield. Because I don't want to play Battlefield. I want to go around with my boys and wield lightsabers and go hunt things and fight Sith or be Sith and go fight Jedi in a 2-player co-op or 3-4 player co-op game. And we don't have anything close to that right now. And filling in that void would be very fulfilling from a Star Wars fan perspective, but I don't have any faith that anybody can do it. So the fact that I'm able to play the Warhammer stuff with you, and even though, I didn't care for Dark Tide as much as you did, at least with Space Marine, I think we both can find some satisfaction in that game, giving us that need of playing with my friend, playing in a setting that's going to be familiar enough to be able to enjoy the story, but also have that action that's going to be able to feel that need to be able to enjoy yourself gaming and be challenged. So we'll see. I don't know how well Space Marine 2 is going to end up being developed, but I'll definitely give it a shot, especially if it's on Game Pass. But it's a game I would even entertain buying, depending on what the reviews look like beforehand.
Yep. So, hopefully we'll get something to work with. But like I said, KOTOR, you might be right, man. It might just be best hands off. I guess I'll like I said, I guess I want to rip the Band-Aid because as long as it's in that fugue state. It hovers over your head like the sword of Damocles. And I'd rather just be done with it because, unfortunately, despite everything, you might be shocked, I'm a hopeful. I do hope for better. I always do. And you know whose fault it is? It's where the men's meet, man. I never thought they'd make a cultivation RPG. That game has me shocked. I haven't seen it happen, so maybe I dreamed it. Maybe I dreamed it. I think you saw it too, though. So it's a group delusion. But like, never thought that would be being made. So I'm like, well, maybe anything can happen. Maybe a good KOTOR game is gonna come out. You know, because we used to talk about this, man. We used to sit down and be like, man, I love these cultivation novels. Really wish they'd make a game. I mean, a real game, not a turn-based, not a mobile. Let me run around, learn martial arts like I'm in one of these web novels. And I saw it, and I just said,
I mean, it's still there. We haven't had any news in a while, though. It's been very quiet.
So, you know, but I'm hopeful. And I know that Bloodaxe will be happy to see KOTOR. I would be happy. Xeno would be happy. Flynn would be happy. Jarek would be happy, you know, to see that happen. We'd all love to see it. Michael would be happy out there, you know. So it's like, it would be, we always check. Anything?
No, man. No.
We still check Redfall.
4 months ago was the last news.
You know, every now and then we stick a nose and go like, they got it yet? Man, them people ain't getting that character they paid for. I feel sorry for the people that bought that thing. They're never getting that character they bought. But, you know, but that shows you that we're hopeful.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hope to see it, but KOTOR may be a lost cause. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for the rest of it.
Well, speaking of hopeful, we do get to end on something that looks really good, and I'm hopeful for, and we'll find out really soon. April 23rd, finally, the big, massive Fallout 4 mod, Fallout London, is supposed to be released. It got a new release trailer. No, man, I'm actually pretty excited about what I've seen so far on this. And I know you're a big mod person, so
I mean, I go back and play Fallout almost every single year, at least once. And the fact that it's a full story, you know, you play a new protagonist, you're doing a London version of the events, it's its own thing, is surprising. I am actually very optimistic to go back and play some more Fallout because I've been through the story so many times. I love a new experience. I'm almost curious if they're going to get a Horizon spin on it, you know, because that's a big survival mod. Probably will if it does really big, but I'm going to go check it out. You know, now the thing is, it is coming out around some big releases, so I might end up spinning through there later this year, but I'll let you know. But you know what? It's a mod. Probably not a bad idea to let it sit for a sec, because Bethesda has a bad habit of throwing out a patch that makes everything crash. So I would not be surprised if April 24th Bethesda throws out a day SC update or something.
Yeah, and now this mod does seem to have some backing of Bethesda. They do seem to be really excited about it as well. So
seemingly, we'll see. Like I said, but letting it sit a sec. But I'm definitely going to play it because, like I said, I return to Fallout 4 more than I do Skyrim. I spin back through there. Usually it's when Horizon gets an update that goes with a mod I wanted to try, but I want to try it within Horizon. But I'll go through here and see what they got. You know, they got their own story. I'll definitely, and you'll get a review. But Damien or Zeno may touch it before me.
I'm sure Damien will grab it up.
And you'll probably touch it for me because I got a lot on my docket around that April time, man. I got some games lined up.
Oh, that looks awesome.
It really does. But I'm definitely going to put hands on because Fallout 4 has that replay value, man. It is a well put together game to mod and go back to over and over. Get your highlighters on. Yeah, there's some good mods. And, like, that's why I go back to it more than Skyrim because Skyrim's a good game, but, like, it's hitting that point to where, you know, I go back to it. The mods are not always as smooth. It gets a little rougher. But Fallout 4 mods really well. It's easy to jump in and throw in a massive mod and just roll. And usually everything just is pretty smooth. But, I mean, you even saw they had a whole different pick boy. Looks like they even have different perks. So, I mean, they really did this up. It is supposed to be big. And if you want a different look interpretation of the Fallout world with its own story. This is a chance to get a middle ground because Bethesda ain't even announced what they're doing next. Oh, wow, the Bobby uniforms. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean it's also far enough away from Fallout to where, being this it's overseas. It's over there with Michael Hartzman, but yeah, no, I think I'm actually really excited about this. I think this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely grab it. It's almost a full. It seems to be a full game. It's got so much. Is that an English bulldog? They gave you an English bulldog, dude.
Oh, that's cool. Now that's nice. Okay, wow, they're really doing it up. Okay, wait, was that a We Happy Few reference with the mask? Or is that the equivalent of the Silver Shroud over there? I don't know.
No, I was thinking Phantom of the Opera type maybe vibes.
I don't know. It could be a lot of cool references. I was looking for the police box. I was eyeing. I was like, I wonder if you walk into a certain police box, may you find that it's much larger on the inside than the outside.
That's awesome.
That would be a great reference, man. Doing those kind of references, it's a mod. They can get away with it.
I don't know. The whole
I'm not
Doctor Who thing.
No, it may not be a
overdone.
TARDIS. It just may be larger on the inside than the outside. It could be anything in there.
Anyway, so that's pretty interesting, and I think that's where we're
fog.
going to.
It definitely has to be fog. Yeah, it's going to be fog.
Yeah.
What if you'll hear a siren? They can play with this a lot, man. That actually, I think they're going to have fun. So it's always cool to see something coming out, when you don't have a dry spell. It's interesting as mod. We see that it's on Nexus. We checked, so free. I'm assuming usually on Nexus is free. So go check it out. It comes out April 23rd, I believe. No, it's in April, but I think the exact date was the 23rd.
Yeah,
23rd. So something fun to do with your Fallout 4. Keep you busy. If you're not jumping into Dragon's Dogma or something, you can play this as you wait for the next big game to come out.
Yeah. Too cool. All right, guys. Well, be sure to check out Dicejunkies.com where we found, where it links to everywhere we are. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And, in a few weeks, in April, we're going to be at CypherCon. So if you're in the Lake Charles area, be sure to Louisiana, be sure to check us out. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.